smoking and growing and watching prohibition fall down.
All right, guys, let's wake and bake. Summertime. Look at me. Look at the tan coming in nice.
Wow. Take it, brother. I went from, I think, 90 degrees to 45 degrees yesterday in about 100 miles.
Dude, I'll take some of that. We're going to talk about it in today's show. Heat wave here in beautiful British Columbia. Dear God, we're going to get up to, I think, over 40 today, Scotty. You follow? You dig? Celsius? Come on.
Whoa, man. Hang on. The Celsius thing, we got to just switch over. The rest of the world uses Celsius, right?
I believe so, but that's going to be about almost 110 degrees here. So I'm fine. It's hard to find places like I'm thinking like, shit, where do I put my weed at? Not to mention, coming up on the next Grow Talk, I still got one plant in a tent that I'm just barely getting by. But man, everywhere, I don't have AC in my house. A lot of people up here don't have AC because it usually doesn't get crazy hot.
Wow. You don't have AC in your house? Is that a Canadian thing? Is that just not up there or what?
Yes. It's all the great white north up here, Scotty. Okay. It's all great white north.
But it's seriously, you guys are pretty far north. When I came to Colorado, most houses don't have AC. Or a lot of them don't. Is this something that it's pretty rare to have an AC up there?
I wouldn't say that. Depends on where you're at. What you got going on? I'm sitting good. I got a little fan on me here, and half of my office here is like almost underground. So the earth, we're using the geothermal, and no problem. So we got to get these shows out, man. We've been running around to tell you what's going on today's show. Had a little summer break. If you guys didn't notice, some of the regular programming, the Grow Talks and Wake and Bakes, weren't coming at you as frequently. But today, we're going to talk about...
We were on... I was away for 2 straight weeks. Maybe, I think the 11th I went away. Got back midnight last night. I have stories. Sit, dude. I have stories.
The show preview for today, I got some summertime tips for beating the heat and avoiding hypothermia in the process, which sounds kind of weird, but man, I think I got a little hypothermic with how cold I was trying to be. And then, Scotty's been traveling here. Let's hear your summertime travel stories. You got some good things from everything from throwing up on a plane, not you, and some edibles while traveling, of course, some tips with that.
Just the whole plane situation was awesome. We'll get into it, man.
In the news, we got marijuana products being recalled in Arizona due to possible contamination, as well as a lot of new growers coming on board. So companies and people are feeling that. This is a Veil Vapor growing new brand of marijuana cultivation supplies. I thought this was kind of weird. We get some commentation from Scotty. It's this e-cig company. He's like, hey, why not sell grow tent kits?
Hey, I want to do Ed McMahon right from the start this episode.
Perfect. And then while growing marijuana at home may be a safety hazard for Michigan residents. So talk about that as well. Before we hop into the show, join the DGC. We want you. We should get one of those, like an Uncle Sam, like holding a fatty, pointing. Or did he point? Is that what he does for the...
Yo, I wanted to save this. I have this in the show agenda or format, but the Dabulance. It is time. The Dabulance is good to go. It is time to get it painted up with a message and start leaving it outside grow stores, outside the Broncos stadium, really getting the message about growing your own cannabis, that you can grow your own cannabis. It is great medicine. Maybe I want to write something like grow your own, medicine or, learn how you can grow your own cannabis. It's not that hard. And I want to say it's got to be like, 8-10 words or less. So I'm looking for the right message, and we're going to paint it on the Dabulance. We're going to really try to get a lot more people to grow their own cannabis, at least spread the message that cannabis is easy to grow. Or you can certainly do it. You can
make some comments. If you got something trendy, guys, leave a comment. That is true. That's why when I go to dudegrows.com before we start the show, dudegrows.com/support, we want to get people growing. That's why you get free seeds. You can order from Seeds Here Now when you sign up, as well as just give that support.
I promise I will not use any of your money to buy a Dabulance, all right? I did that with my own. I will not blow any of y'all's money.
Yes, that's one of Scotty's own personal decisions. Does not. You're thinking in your head, I can't bounce this one off the dude. I'm just going to have to dig it right out of the savings and
you just do it, man. You just do it.
dudegrows.com/support, guys. That's where you can come over at $10 a month, support the show. We are listener supported by the DGC, and goddamn, I can't wait to have an event to get back together with y'all. Coming soon.
I miss you, dude. I miss you.
It's been a minute. I got to get down there.
We used to hang out. Remember that?
Look at all these. It's not on me, man. I'm just waiting for the. Come on, Trudeau, get this shit rolling.
I never said it was, man.
Won't go deep into it, but that's all I'll say. Open the damn border. And come on over, and if we've helped your grow, if we've helped your commute, if you've had a laugh, you've had a chuckle, it's a great way to support the show. Get the member benefits, access to the members page, free seeds, as I already said, 30% off Real Growers Recharge. Discord, I haven't even told you this yet, Scotty. I had a little meeting with Soup the gardener. He's like, you guys got to come at least once a month and hang out on Discord. He's like, you don't have to do anything. He's like, you just show up and hang out. So I'm going to, I'll announce in the next Grow Talk, and I'll hit you, everybody up on Patreon. I'll send a message to everybody. I'm going to go hang out on there just to hang, talk, grow, give some constructive criticism on the show, whatever you want to do, man. I want the members to be able to interact a little bit, and I'm going to try and do that once a month at least.
You just said construction criticism, right?
Yeah, construction criticism.
I like that.
Constructive. And I put it on Guru too a little bit. Guru, I'm gonna try and get you to hop on there and hang out every once in a while as well. Just it's a great community over there that members have access to.
Oh yeah, definitely. I will. I am already on Discord normally, hanging out with the homies, playing some video games. So I can definitely hop on there with you.
Dude, lately I've been working from 8 in the morning till 8 at night. And then I'll take a little break and I'll do some more stuff just for fun, creative stuff at night. But geez, it's creeping up on me, man. So yes, I'll hang out on the Discord server, but that's
a 12-hour day. I like that. My neighbor tries to work that schedule. Granted, he's like a tugboat captain, but do 3 12s instead of a full work week. Just work 3 days, Monday to Wednesday, and then you're done. All right.
I mean, I can't say this is work. I'm gonna smoke a joint with 2 of my great friends, so I don't know if it's work, but just the free time has been rough lately.
All right, now that I get a little tuned up here, let's get it into the show with a dank nug, and y'all can get your dank nugs up. Hope everybody out there has got something to toke on, or will shortly hear it soon. But this is from Stone Root. It's titled Bruce Banner. Says, I'm excited. Wow.
No, this is Bruce
picture.
Banger. Bruce Banger.
Oh, thank you. I'm so used to saying Banner. I'm excited about this one. She stinks of strawberry candy. Seedsman freebie, grown in amended soil with a few microbial inoculants and teas, a couple liquid feedings, some crabs, and recharge. Some carbs.
You fucking need glasses at this point, man. We're going to have an intervention.
You should eventually, for sure. I'm getting the squinting on. I'm just looking at this nug. It looks nice. It's a testament. Nug size isn't always what it's all about. This isn't a real small nug, nor is it just a big-ass nug. It's got a lot of surface area. A few of those fingers coming up, I dig.
Oh, yeah, the calyxes are beautiful on this. Hang on, go up to what I know it's not Grow Talk, but let's just see what's in his. So it's an amended soil, some microbes, some teas, a couple of liquid feedings, some carbs, and recharge. A beautiful, I wonder if you gave it a little more steak and potatoes, would it beef out? Or is that just the bud structure and that's that?
I don't know. Good question. I'm going to give it bud structure, and I think it's probably going to taste fabulous with that simplicity. Again, it's not a Grow Talk, but dude, he's feeding the soil. He's feeding the soil. He's letting the soil feed his plant, keeping it alive, and that's an easy way to grow. Can be an easy way to grow.
Yes, as long as you got good fertile soil. Hell yeah.
All right. What are you toking on there today, Scotty?
Just a little something I grew myself, man. We harvested, dude. We actually made it to harvest. What was it? The Never Flowering Garden.
Wait, is it like the first time in a while on the indoor? I know you did last year on the outdoor.
It's the first time in a long time. But
congrats.
Rowdy Rick built me that room. It's perfect. It's really awesome. It just works for me, and it's pretty easy to grow in there. The hempies, I do top water them once or twice a week with some recharge. But other than that, it's really easy to grow dank. Sorry, long-winded question.
Here, let's show the dank.
Now granted, I'm probably not winning any cannabis cup with this or anything.
As far as super lemon hazes go,
fucking beautiful.
That's
man.
Pretty dank.
I'm smoking it. I love it, and that's what I'm talking about. Right on the side of a ambulance. You can grow your own. It's not that hard. You set it up right. Maybe you're not going to grow 10 out of 10 or something that's going to, win cannabis cups, but you're going to grow some really enjoyable weed that your friends are going to love. I got people that are, can I take a couple buds? Yeah, my pleasure. There's a bucket of it over there.
Dig on the sharing, 100%. When you take that overhead out of paying the man tax dollars and buying some bud that you don't know how it was grown, but there's good weed out there. But we're a proponent of growing your own on the show. which I'm smoking my own homegrown now. I call it Teepee Time, the strain that I got named from Emerald Cup from Dragonfly Earth Medicine people. Do I say people at the end of it? But it's good. It's a chill 1-to-1. I do have.
Is it really a 1-to-1 though? Is my question.
I know.
We don't know.
Is this the one that you're like you gave to your mother-in-law and it's probably not a 1-to-1? Or this is the healer, right? From the Dragonfly Earth Medicine TP?
You got it. They were calling it the healer, but the phenos came out completely different looking.
Wait, just show that for a second, man. Show your little stash spot because think about how like back in the day,
little basket.
Yeah, like you'd be psyched to have a 1/4 ounce. Now we're like have baskets of it and collections of fucking jars.
I have
such a joy.
Little embarrassingly, I have like certain strains of hash that I like a lot. I'll get an extra one and vac seal them in a bag and keep it in the freezer just for like rainy day or like, oh, I'd really like to have some papaya from 710 Labs today. Pull a vac bag out of the freezer
right there, isn't it?
I was going to say for the, not the haters, but the people are like, man, this dude's always just like smoking some CBD 1-to-1. I have been toking out, shut up, Puffin Ponics, some gelato, and that shit gets you high. it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So I got a good variety here. I got some Gorilla Glue going on over there.
Is it Gelato 33?
It says
is it the Larry Bird gelato?
I think it says 41, or how many are there?
I don't know, a lot.
Hey, dude, I have to take umbrage with something you said. You're like, oh, I don't, I'm not. People don't like it because I don't smoke the fucking dankest weed and all that shit. Dude, we're trying to break the stoner stereotype here, and I'm probably not doing that great of a job of it. I just kind of hang out and get super baked on the show. But we don't know. Every one of us doesn't need to be super baked. Guru's barely ever. Maybe he takes a single dab during the show. That doesn't prove anything. That's not. I just enjoy smoking a joint. I do the Larry King thing with the joint in my hand. But it doesn't prove anything. You're not cooler because you can smoke more weed.
It's not the smoking for me why I don't smoke on the show that much. It's the coughing for me is the reason I don't smoke on the show that much.
How the fuck you have both hands going? Do you have any foot pedals down there? How the hell are you gonna smoke?
That too. I'm fairly.
He's like a drummer over there. You know?
I got a lot of buttons to hit at the right time.
Shit.
It's also I like to get really high. I kind of save it for other activity. Like if I'm hiking in the woods, give me some. Like bring it. But I am quote working here, and I don't want to be also. I don't want my endocannabinoid system to get so saturated that I always have to smoke on really strong stuff to achieve said desirable effects. So I always kind of start off light too, and it gets heavier throughout the day.
I actually chose, I'll talk about it and what's going on, not to smoke. I was doing an activity where normally I would smoke, and I was like, I'm not going to this time. And I'm glad.
I like it. I like it. Depends on what's going on, man. Sometimes it just depends on how you feel. You just feel you're good, even though it's sometimes when you say that, I'm good, it's bothered people. I'm good. No, I'm good. It's a good thing for me to say that I'm good. Okay, we're all good here. Let's go to the good comments. Speaking of goodness, over on YouTube we got Tip Top Magoo. Says, okay, dude got me. Took 7 to 8 years, but now I'm saying things like direction. So
that's awesome. 7 or 8 years. Holy shit, you're that much of an OG, Tip Top Magoo. That's awesome.
I mean, damn, it has been 7 years now. Hopefully not 8. I mean, I'm not complaining, but it's working out. Thanks, DGC.
Wait, anytime you say I'm not complaining, but.
That's a good point. You should not do that. All right, we got another comment from Forget Full Pot 56. Okay.
Forgetful Pots 56. I dig it.
Connecticut went legal the other day. Medical patients can grow October this year. Fuck yeah, brothers. Spread the love.
Yeah, man. One of the places I visited was Connecticut. And
there's a lot of states, prohibition's dropping down, letting people grow, whether it's, hey, you can grow your 4 plants only and they must be inside behind a locked door with blah, 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 blah. But it is cool. Prohibition has fallen in school to witness.
It's disturbing, though. I had to visit my brother, and not that I had to visit my brother. Me and my brother and my dad went on a trip together. And so I was in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Rhode Island, around that area or those specific places. So you got to see the different cannabis laws. And I know somebody in New York that's, works a super stressful job, comes home and likes to drink a glass of wine and smoke some weed. And by the way, do you have any, did I mention the sex of that person?
No.
Would you guess, male or female?
I would go with female because of the glass of wine.
Because of the wine, right? Yeah, I just noticed that, man.
I'm not saying anything wrong with a dude drinking a glass of wine, but I think more women chill out with a glass of wine.
You know, of course, Tripp was up there. He brought the edibles with him. He brought a whole bunch of crazy good weed. And that's his new move, is bringing the craziest weed. And people are like, what the fuck is going on out there in Colorado, man? But she had some New York dispensary weed and edibles. And they were ridiculously shitty. The edibles were like 10 milligrams, and they were like, you know, mixed with CBD. So you got maybe 5 milligrams of THC, 5 milligrams of CBD. And this chick, she gets headaches and whatnot. She uses it medicinally. She's not dying, but she comes home, she got a headache or whatever the fuck it is. She wants to go to sleep. She uses cannabis medicinally. And what she's getting up there sucks. And she don't know it. So she's like, oh, hey, look, check this out. I got some bud. My girlfriend's bringing some bud over. Okay.
Yeah, and even if, again, it's not just strength you're talking about. What if
dude, this was stems. This was stems. This was like not even the bottoms that we get here. It was like, it was the kind of shit where you're like, I'm not buying that. That's not really weed. Like when you argue with people that's not weed. It's happened a couple times in my life.
Sounds like if you want to enjoy some edibles up there, you'd have to bring a lot of money and eat a lot of shit, maybe. Like, damn, all right, I'm on my 18th gummy or whatever. Like,
yep. And again, I fucked it up because it's so hard. We made dinner reservations at 7:30. At 2:30, she's like, let me try one of your gummies. And my wife's like, no. We want, and sure enough, at 7:30, she's like, I'm not going. She fucking ripped off her ass. And, yeah, 25 milligrams, man. Seems to be a good dose. She got up by 9. We were partying, man, at the Hot Pot restaurant, bro. You ever been at a Hot Pot?
Man, Hot Pot?
Oh, you'd like it. Google it, man. It's like this Chinese thing, man. It's like, I don't know, it's just interesting, man. It's very cool. Google Hot Pot restaurant. Go to one if you have one near you. I bet you do, man, because you've got a huge Asian influence in British Columbia. You've got Hot Pot restaurants.
Yes, I got all kinds of culinary going around here. One more comment, though, from Koski. I'm going to go with Koski Media. It says, new to the channel and new to growing. Been around bud since I was a young teen bud, and it's definitely something I'm passionate about. I've been studying growing by reading the Grow Bible, as well as I Love Growing Marijuana, which is a website which also sells seeds. I watch and study you guys, Cannabis Lifestyle TV, Mr. Canuck Grows, and on a recent lunch, I subbed to Rasta Jeff's social channel as well. Shout out to Grow From Your Heart podcast. Says, thanks, guys. I appreciate all you're giving, all the knowledge you're giving, and gained here in the community, as well as creating this dope-ass series with the breeders. So I wanted to shout out to that. Scotty's done most of these hangout, get to know your breeder. If you haven't been to the YouTube channel lately, it has just been organized. Everything is a nice, neat playlist there.
Beautiful. Shout out to Rolling Stoner. Nice work.
Yes, everything. So it's organized up, and then Get to Know Your Breeder series is a really good series, ongoing, continuing.
Shout out to Banner, by the way. That is Banner's creation right there.
Rasta Jeff just hung out on the show as the most recent one. So I'll finish with the comment here. It says,
wait. I got to say something about the Breeder series, all right? Sometimes I've been catching some shrapnel from breeders that, whether somebody doesn't like them or a lot of them charge too much, you know, in the whatever, people say they charge too much for their packs or whatever.
Okay.
I have nothing to do with that. Just so you guys know, Banner finds breeders that he either likes their gear or there's some buzz about, or maybe it's just people that he knows a little bit through social media. And he's setting us up. And the idea is, I don't know anything about these people. I never met them, don't know anything about them. And I just try to get to know them. A lot of what I do is like bumping into somebody in the grow store and saying hello and then trying to get to know them and just emulating that on the show. Yeah. So just understand that's where those are coming from. They're not coming from, this is my friend and I'm here to promote them. I'm saying, yo, man, there's so many breeders. I don't really understand how to evaluate them. Let's get to know them a little bit. Let's vote with our dollars.
I dig it. Finished off this comment, says I plan to get more involved in the community, attending events, and hopefully pushing my brand after I gain a regimen for my grow. And my end goal is to become a breeder and keep evolving the strains and not tainting the community with bad bud. Keep up the good work. keep being fire and bless up. I'll tell you, thanks to that. And that was a reminder that I was kind of like, it's really cool. All the knowledge. If you guys are new to growing, there's so much out there. He mentioned all these different podcasts, Mr. Kinnock Grows Lifestyle TV, Grow From Your Heart podcast, Embracing Organics. There's a bunch out there, and there's tons of knowledge to be learned. So check them all out.
Bless up, brother. Bless up.
I don't mind that one.
Man. I like that one, yeah.
Bless up is not too bad. I don't like when it gets like, stay blessed, my friend. I don't know. I'll take it all. I'll take it all.
Yeah, Bless up's got that nice Rasta vibe to it. You know what I mean?
All right, so what's growing on? Hopefully,
Jobless. Man, that reminds me, there's this place called the Jobless House in Pompano. And you could go there and get little dime bags of weed. And it would just say, it was like in a manila envelope, and it would say Jobless. It was
J.A. Bless?
Jahbless. And it was the Jobless House. And dude, you needed a little bit of balls to walk into the Jobless House because it was in a fucking hood, man.
Oh, man, I've never walked into a few houses. I do have those memories where you're just like, oh, man, no, it's just make me, all I'm doing is buying some weed, but this just feels like weird, like shady or whatever. But I'm so glad those days are over. Regardless, what's going on is it's friggin' hot. So you got to beat the heat, man. I went out. There's a great place by me here where I live in Maple Ridge to tube called the Alouette River. You put in with your tubes, hang out on the river. What's up? You good?
Yes, man. I'm what? My fucking cough button doesn't work, man.
It's weird to see your cough button working, but your lips moving. So that's, that's more distracting than just having the interruption. I'll back it up though. Floating, beating the heat in the tubes by heat over 100 degrees. Feels great on the water though. It's nice that a few people in the group enjoying some mushrooms. I was keeping it safe on the water. Not that I would be unsafe. I had my daughter with me, and when I'm around a lot of people, some places it's like a little bit of craziness on the water. It's not my environment for getting down on the shrooms a little bit. But
could you help me understand the party shroom thing? I never found them to be a party drug. You know, it was very personal to me.
The first time. It's funny you say that. Yeah, the first time I ate enough and your friends were like, oh, yeah, have this much when really it could have been half. Yeah, we were at a party and right when it started to kick in, I was like, I got to go home. Yeah. Like, so it would be better if I was somewhere. I agree. Like, chilling.
Acid, a little bit different. Acid, I'd go to a fucking rock show, kind of be a maniac on some acid, but shrooms very introspective. And
but wait, we got to back up. Shrooms have multitudes of levels and varieties that create different effects. Some might be the giggly. You took just enough to laugh and cry with your friends. So it depends on how you're doing them. Out in nature, it's usually a good fit. That day went well.
The only ones we were ever exposed to pre-prohibition was the ones that grew on cow shit. You know, so we didn't have all the different ones they have out west and whatnot. So, yeah, that's pretty much my shroom experience there. Psilocybin, the purple ones.
I've been seeing everybody out. This is a variety of people out tubing, right? Families to partiers, if you will, to whatever, all demographics. There's a big area where everybody stops because it's a huge swimming hole called Davidson's Pool. So many people on the river are token down. Nobody gives a shit. And it's not like they're being obnoxious. It's not like I've been at the same place where some, I don't want to call them kids. That makes me seem too old. We'll say late teenagers had a bottle of, I call it, what's that?
I said punks. Punk kids, man.
Young and ignorant. They had a bottle of what I call cinnamon whiskey. Other people call it Fireball, AKA headache, bad shit, sugary, don't drink it. But that bottle ended up getting...
I have a bottle of Fireball. And I have 0 hard alcohol in my house. And then in my closet is like a bottle of Fireball that's almost like completely undrunken. And I found it. I found it in my kid's room, man. So I had it confiscated. I had that talk with her, yeah. But then I just randomly have this bottle of Fireball now.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, granted, a nice cold shot of Fireball sounds enticing, but it's really not too good. It's not. But we're not talking about that anyway. Kids that have that.
If you're gonna drink that shit, at least put some flecks of gold in it. All right.
It's good to see in that particular instance, that bottle ended up getting thrown and broke on rocks. I was there, had to have the talk, and you approach that without. I don't approach it like F you with that. I try to approach it with education, and you're going to clean that up. And this is why we can't do this. But seeing everybody enjoy cannabis, chilling out. Family's not giving a shit. And it's kind of cultural here in BC. People have been token for so long. I love to see it, man. It's just like, I feel for people that are in Prohibition land, and there's plenty of these same places and things you can go do outside. But if you want to spark a J, you're going to go hide in the woods. Like everybody else, though, can be out there in their canoe or doing whatever and pounding some beers and this and that. But you got to go hide over here. And to see it out in the open is just such a good feeling. I loved it.
It is no big deal. And just like I had to have the talk with my kid about alcohol, and of course I had to have a talk with her about weed, we all need to have understandings of this from a young age. The folks that grew up around weed, I don't know. I mean, I know quite a few of them. You know, I know this is a flawed study, but none of them are heroin addicts. You know, they just all have a good understanding of weed, of cannabis, and how to use it, and how kind of they're very comfortable with it because they've been around it their whole lives. They saw their parents, you know, be around it. You know, they saw, you know, who fell apart in the circle and who kept it together. And if it's people with weed, you kind of, I don't know, I think it's just a good, you need to be educated on all that kind of stuff.
I agree. The next day here, that was Saturday, Sunday, just
Hey, can I just stop you 1 second? Just because I have a comment. You know how you were talking about the, you know, the kids that broke the glass bottle and you talked to them about it and all that? I was in like Utah, in Moab, Utah, Canyonlands, just this amazing place. And I had a aluminum can of whatever it was, one of those waters. And I finished it and I crushed it. And I did it twice. I tested. I just handed it to the 16-year-old next to me. And I was like, hey, chuck that, will you? And I was waiting to see if they were going to do it. I was going to be like, are you fucking kidding me? That was a test. And both of them, my daughter and her friend separately, both passed the test. They looked at me like I was an asshole. And I go, that's the fucking right response. Good. That was a test. While
you're talking about chucking things, guys, nothing out here eats orange peels, so please stop chucking those. You know, when everybody's at the beach, I get it; it's a natural material. Same as banana peel.
Literally nothing decomposes orange peels that well. It's something you can put in your compost pile, and it will take forever to compost. The microbes don't like the orange peels or anything. It's all the limonene they have in them. Or even like raccoons will eat just about anything. Pigs too. If they come across orange peels, they'll just leave it. No one wants to eat that.
Pigs won't even eat an orange peel.
I know. Yeah. That's a challenge right there, man. Pigs will eat anything.
The next day was out. We hit up, and just since it's so hot, another, it's called Gold Creek, which is a snow melt fed crystal clear creek that runs down to a big lake called Alouette Lake. And as the creek runs down to the lake, typically it starts to get a little warmer as it meets the lake water backing up. So I like to get in there and snorkel with how clear it is. And when you get in at the upper part, it is, I take your breath away. What?
Fucking, you said snow melt in Canada and you like to get in there and snorkel?
Hey, it's 100 degrees out, man. It was hard to get in. A lot of people just do the dip. I like to do the snorkel for how clear it is. Plus, as you go along down the creek, there's so many people hanging out that they're like, oh, look at that guy. What are you doing? And sometimes I'll find something good. Like this time, I was going down and I was like, I should make it all the way to the lake and snorkel back up. So my goal is, it's cool. You can keep I keep a couple beers in my pocket because the water's so cold. They're good.
Dude, you are that guy. Look at the guy snorkeling with the beers in his pocket. That's different.
I did find somebody's sunglasses. I stopped at the end to turn around and they're like, this lady. I'm like, you guys mind if I sit on the rock for a minute and warm up? And they're like looking down there. I'm like, what do you see? They're like, we think we see the sunglasses we lost here yesterday in about 10 to 12 feet of water. I usually don't dive down deeper than that. Went and grabbed them. They were so stoked. It's one of those cool things where you make somebody's day. They couldn't believe it. They're like, oh man. But the moral of the story, or not the moral of the story, is I was beating the heat. But when I got back in, that water never got warmer as it got closer to the lake because of how hot it is here. It's melting off the snow rather quickly, just cold water coming down. And I got back in to swim back up to where I came from. I just started to get the tingles in the hands, the legs, the feet, one leg muscle, calf muscle wanted to be pulling. And I'm like, I don't feel right. And I got out and I walked back to where I came from. And my wife and the couple we were with were like, dude, you're white, your lips have no color, and your boobs are shivering. I think this is the entry point of hypothermia. So I overdid it trying to stay cool. Laid on some hot rocks, came around, was great, but
that potentially is like stage 2 hypothermia. The main thing you want to be careful of is if you stop shivering, that is like the crossing point of stage 2 hypothermia to stage 3 hypothermia. And that is when like your body is basically being like, I can't keep your arms and legs warm. I'm just going to focus on the core. And
it's hot.
Yeah.
I take off all my clothes, man.
I guess that's why you lose you lose extremities first, such as fingers and or toes, right?
Yep.
Most body starts saving itself, saying all right, I can still live without fingers.
It goes into like a series of contingency plans where it's like, all right, we'll get rid of the fingers. Like, you don't really need those. Okay, whole arms and everything. And then it goes to just trying to keep your brain going. That's why like cold water drownings, they can bring people back and they're not brain dead.
Right.
Because
so I could have stayed in.
So weird.
Yeah, your brain is just like conserving that energy. And it's why people like when you get into stage 3 hypothermia, you start hallucinating too.
Yeah.
And feeling really tired and sleepy and stuff.
Like good hallucinations?
like
I
when
mean,
you're dead
maybe
once.
for like you're freezing to death, it's probably better than like being cognizant of that going on or anything. Yeah, maybe. But
all right, that's all I got, Scotty. You got to bring it in with your travels here.
Hang on, you were talking about your finding the sunglasses story.
Mm-hmm. I love doing that. That's the karma. That's how I operate with the karma. But go ahead.
Dude, I'm sorry, it was my brother Trip. I don't know what statute of limitations are. Had a fake ID back in the day. It was a real deal fake ID, okay? It wasn't even, you couldn't even call it fake, okay? And I went to college with it, and it was like, yeah, I was a hero, all right? I was like 19 years old and a guy that could just go buy beer. I think, yeah, it was awesome. So maybe 3 weeks into college, I lived that nice life, went to a rope swing over a 90-foot sinkhole, and lost my wallet, man. Lost my
wait, let's say a sinkhole's filled with water.
Yeah,
right?
Yep. And dude, it's kind of scary because sometimes they're filled with water, like 100-foot deep. They're like crazy deep, but sometimes you got to drop 30 foot to get into the water and then climb out of it. And it's fairly interesting. There's different sinkholes. They're not like regulated or anything.
I've jumped into a rock quarry in Virginia in February off of a 50-foot cliff. That was one of the dumber things I've ever done.
Yeah,
and you have to rock climb out of it. It was like a freak 80-degree day at the end of February.
Right.
Me and my friend decided to go to the rock quarry and jump in. One of the coldest I've ever been. 2, like trying to rock climb out of it with frozen hands was it was a little scary.
Dude, that happened to me. I was tripping. I was with this girl and I was like, I'm going to jump in that. It was like 40, 50 feet. And I was trying, maybe whatever. And I was just like, oh, this will impress her. Of course, I'm a little bit fucked up. And so I jump in and then I realized I had no thoughts about how to get out.
No ego.
And I was just clawing my way for life out of that fucking sinkhole.
I did get 2 jumps in, one yesterday and the day before, about 20 to 25 feet. It's fun, man. They're just big enough to start to really get that feeling in your stomach, like the tingly drop feeling that you get in your stomach. That is actually, I find enjoyable.
Yes, that's the microbes revolting. Saying,
what's the highest you've done? The highest I did and went back in the day, teenager, was 70 feet. And that was enough for me. But some people would still run and jump off a 70-foot jump and do like a gainer right off. Yeah. I'm like, dude, if you don't land right, like it's going to be bad.
In like cut off jean shorts out after taking a swig of a bottle, right?
Pretty much.
Same cliff I'm talking about, not in February, like in the summertime, I dove off a 50-foot cliff. And like I did competitive swimming for years, so like I've dived off of high things before. But like falling, and then picked my head up to look where the water was, and that second is when I hit, and I got a concussion. It wasn't fun.
Oh yeah, you know why? Try not hitting something that's like concrete with your fucking head. All right.
Yes,
that's a bad act.
The physics behind surface tension and how water behaves when stuff hits it at high speeds is crazy. A bullet doesn't go more than like 3 feet into water. Generally, they break apart in the first 3 feet of them going into water.
It is crazy.
Not according to Hollywood, bro.
Hollywood's not exactly right. A lot of times, like I knew Mythbusters did it. If you're 3 feet underwater, a 50 cal bullet will be disintegrated before it gets to you.
No, because
oh my God.
Yep.
What
Watch
are
the
you talking
Mythbusters.
about, man? Vin Diesel shot somebody underwater in Fast and Furious 7.
Yeah. Or, I mean, like James Bond. You ever see Thunderball? Probably my favorite one.
Yeah, that's
And they have the like harpoon guns and stuff underwater, and they're flipping each other's masks up. I don't know. That was a good movie.
Austin Powers is my favorite James Bond movie.
You
know what, dude? We bullshitted for a while, man. Let's just fucking save it. We'll bullshit about my summertime. Another time in the summertime, man. I enjoyed hanging out with you and getting into your summer, brother.
I got to get one story just because we talked. Just the plane story, okay? Because traveling on edibles. Can we just hit that one?
Yes. Yes, man. By the way, I realized.
Go ahead.
Yes, I never finished the wallet story, but some dude returned it. Like in the last fucking semester of college. I was 21 in like 2 weeks. Some fucking scuba diver found it and returned it to me. Isn't that whack? Guy calls me up and goes, "Man, I got your wallet." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Yeah, you lost." And I knew it because he called me by the name that was on my fake ID. And I was
nice.
Dude. Anyway, man, sorry. That's the story. All right. I have a legitimate, what am I, almost 50? And, it's first time for everything. This was interesting, dude. I was on an airplane coming back from Newark, New Jersey. I spent some time up in the Northeast, and we're about to take off. We're on a full fucking plane. We're about to take off. They say, prepare the cabin for takeoff. It's when the flight attendant is supposed to sit down. And I just hear the sound, the unmistakable sound of some guy just retching, just vomiting, man. You could even tell it was liquid. I think you could hear the splash. And I just kind of sat there. I was like, that's definitely what that was. And I just sat quietly to myself. Within about 15 seconds, just all hell breaks loose, man. And it was like, I think it's Stand By Me, the movie, where people started vomiting. It was pretty awesome. And then I'd been debating the whole day whether I wanted to eat edibles because I was like, fuck, it's not that long of a flight. I'm gonna fucking get off and be all whacked out, I have to go get my luggage and fucking remember where I parked. But I decided to eat them anyway. And I got on the plane. Everything was fine. If your plane's delayed 3 hours or whatever and you miss time, that's when you mistime the edibles. But I timed them perfectly. I'm sitting on the plane ready to take off. My wife's already being like, I fucking hate it when you eat those things because I'm just like... Everything.
Yeah, what's wrong with it? What does she hate about it? I mean, it seems like it's usually good.
Here's why. This is when she said it to me. This guy just pukes so bad they got to turn the plane around. People are just covered.
Literally had to go back and get things cleaned up.
Yes. So now you lose your place in line at this major airport like Newark. You've got to wait 3 or 4 hours to squeeze back in line. Took maybe an hour to clean the plane. And I'm so fucking high that she's like, this sucks, man. And I'm just like, fucking, it's cool. Just be cool. That's when she turned to me and said, I fucking hate it when you eat those things.
That's nice so that edibles can give you that patience. And it's also a reminder to some people, regardless, you can't control that situation at all. So you're wasting any energy you're giving towards negativity, period. What are you going to do? What if it was you? Anything like that can happen. So, but
I was the asshole though, man. I was the only guy that thought it was awesome and funny. Everybody else was so pissed, And I'm going to miss my connecting flight. And I couldn't stop laughing. I just couldn't stop. And it was awesome.
All right. Yeah, I had to hear that. I'm glad the edibles, they seem to make, being tolerant while traveling, planes, trains, boats, whatever, on the next Wake and Bake. Stay tuned. Definitely edibles can help. And
weed can help in general. Weed can help. Every now and again, I'll be talking in our morning meeting, our Monday morning scrum. Mm-hmm. And Banner will look at me and goes, did you smoke today yet? And I'm maybe a little bit better when I smoke. Maybe a little more, whether it's creative or less aggressive or whatever it is. But it's a great tool, man.
All right, I'll take it. Before we get into the news here, I'll remind everybody, go to dudegrows.com/pros, or right on the homepage of Dude Grows, you'll see a link to our pros list built of trusted industry professionals. Hey, it's gear for your grow. There's also seeds available over there. Some great CBD. Shout out to Farmhouse Hemp, Hanover Hemp out in Virginia. All the coupon codes are listed there. You can pick up some new LED lights for your grow, as well as a Radical bag while you're at it. Build your grow, vote with your dollars, help the show, go and check out all the trusted and vetted products. And use dudegrows.com search bar. I don't say it enough to you guys. Whether you're trying to get information on a product you're thinking about using or growing or whatever, dudegrows.com is chock full with too much. I don't know if it's too much, but we pay a bit to have that up with all the info on there, and it's good info and it's a great community. So thanks for everybody contributing over there. About to build up a Grow Talk coming at you here soon. What's up?
That is money well spent, bro, because we were talking about it before. Just whatever. I won't get too controversial, but how Google really does create the narrative and control the narrative on things. To have an independent place where you can host your own information and your own articles and be in control of where they go. I think that's really powerful. I think that's a great investment.
Yes. If you don't see us on YouTube, that's where you go look, but we should be doing all right. But I don't know. It's strange times is all I'll say. Strange times.
It's interesting. Absolutely.
In the news, this is titled, what do we have? Marijuana products being recalled in Arizona to possible contamination. Now we've heard, I wanted to bring this up because I wanted to talk a little bit, not in detail fully, but kind of testing. We heard Michigan Matt be like, dude, in Michigan, they're so stringent, like on testing that it almost seems ridiculous. But this is some Arizona marijuana businesses are pulling certain products because of fears over salmonella or aspergillus, a common mold. 8 products are now being voluntarily recalled. They're plants that are either trimmed, flour cured, or pre-rolled. So basically in the flour. And this made me think, how common is this mold, aspergillus? Like if we tested even our homegrown flour to the same standard, like wouldn't a lot of flour just have airborne, we're not talking about bud rot, nasty mold shit, just airborne particles of mold on your flour.
I don't know. What is aspergillus? I mean, you ever get moldy weed from somebody where they tried to sell it to you a little wet and it comes out smelling like shit, like mold? After what I seen in New York, I wouldn't put it past any of these dispensaries to sell something like that, a compromised product.
So like salmonella is a little bit different than aspergillus. Like salmonella is actually infectious to people. Aspergillus, for someone with a normal, healthy immune system, it doesn't like it and it will attack it, but it's not pathogenic to people at all. Something like salmonella can make you very sick.
Yeah, but who's eating raw cannabis with enough salmonella to make you sick? I mean, you have to eat it. It makes you sick because it goes into your gut and disturbs your gut. When you smoke
aspergillus is, it's fungal spores.
Not talking salmonella, yeah.
Yes, salmonella, you're going to need to ingest the fresh flour, which is not the likeliest thing.
Yeah, I mean, 165 degrees is an internal temperature for chicken that's safe. You can cook with product that's over 100. When you cook brownies or whatever, so cookies, it's 160. It's way past that. So I don't know. You ain't got me on the salmonella. I got to tell you, by the way, my daughter watches this guy named Salmonella on YouTube. I know. It's a pretty good name, right?
I guess so. Seems intentional. I think about all our daily life stuff too. I mean, you're always inhaling different things. You even brought up the point. You're talking something about insects and chocolate bars.
Yeah, I was in traffic for 11 hours yesterday, 11 to 12. I stopped counting. I did the Zen thing. Dude, you'd be proud of me. I didn't complain once. I just sat there with the no control thing. Didn't eat edibles, by the way, but just kind of hung out and it's just okay because I had podcasts to keep me company. By the way, it should have been about a 7-hour drive, turned into an 11-hour drive, about 4 hours of just stop and go traffic on I-70, which is part of it.
Don't you hate that when you're in traffic and you go, the fuck is everybody doing? And you're like, oh, I'm here too. Shit.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, you know what? But I just had nowhere else to go. I just was going home for the Sunday, so I just chilled. But the podcasts are great to keep me company. And so I was listening to one. I can't remember what it was. But it was about insects and eating insects. Must have been Freakonomics, maybe.
Ooh, insect protein.
Insect protein, yeah. And they were talking about, oh, you know what? It was something on disgust is what it was. Okay. And how so they were talking about, yeah, you're disgusted about eating insect protein. And they go, but you got to understand there's limits for how much insects can be in food, like just regular American food. And they're like, guess what? You're not keeping the plant 100% completely sterile. And they're like Hershey bar. You can have up to 8 insect parts in a single Hershey bar.
Here, I'm going to gross you out. There can be up to 6% pus in milk.
Shut up, man.
Hey,
Well, hang
drink
on a
oat
second.
milk. Drink oat milk.
Yeah, beat
Oat
the
milk is
system.
the way. Beat the system.
Except I was camping, whatever you want to call it, and all I had was oat milk. Yeah, I was camping, and all I had was oat milk, okay? And I was at a campsite, all right? But anyway, I tried it in eggs, and it doesn't work the same way.
No, you can't.
It doesn't make your eggs
Hey,
fluffy.
hey, low key, that is a like old housewives myth. Putting milk in your eggs does not make them fluffier at
Yes,
all.
it does.
It makes them watery. The key to it is to just constantly stir it and don't cook it too fast. Shout out Gordon Ramsay for that one.
Yeah, Gordon Ramsay. Actually, I do like Gordon Ramsay.
I would tell you just to tag on to that. If you said 8 insect pieces per Hershey bar, or according to the FDA, anything less than 60 insect pieces per 100 grams of chocolate is acceptable for human
Jesus.
consumption.
Just chocolate cover the crickets already, you know? Let's get
We
real.
do that.
I
We're good
mean,
to go, yeah.
hey, insect eating in the United States and like the Western world
Right.
is fairly taboo, but a huge proportion of billion people worldwide rely on insects for their source of protein, and it's actually really healthy for you to eat insects as your source of protein. I know they're making those like protein powders that are insect based now. It's
Right.
becoming more and more popular.
You just sneak it a little bit in the food, you know? Just sneak a little bit in there.
I'm down. This next story, this is just one of these like funny business releases I caught. I was just Googling around growing marijuana, trying to find some shows or some news articles for the show. And this is titled Avail Vapor, Growing New Brand of Marijuana Cultivation Supplies. And Avail Vapor is a Richmond-based e-cigarette retailer, is growing to fit the needs of home-based marijuana growers in the run-up to legalization in Virginia.
I was going to say Richmond, Virginia or Richmond, California, very different places.
Well, I get it. You know, people out there, entrepreneurs, businessmen, whatever, when weed's going legal in a state, people are going to be growing. Let's try to make some money off them, you know? Hey, Scotty, you're a businessman. You'd love to have these new growers to have recharge in their hands, but this seems really gimmicky and weird to me. Like, what's your take on it?
I don't hate it at all. And I want to get everybody growing. And by the way, just because you have a vapor business doesn't mean you can't have a separate business where you sell, you know, a grow tent or something like that.
And as someone from
That's just
Virginia,
a branding issue.
I used to, when I like first started using e-cigarettes and quit smoking cigarettes, Avail Vapors was one of like the nicer vape stores there. And actually, I think I shopped at one of the first ones that they had opened.
I can't believe we're siding with the vape store here, but I don't mind. It's a grow kit. Look at it. It's cute. It's a little tent. It's, you know, for somebody that knows nothing about growing, it's a few bottles. I'm sure they make the nutrient themselves, which is another, you know, product. You know, they give you a bag of Fox Farm. I'm sure they give you a little recipe kit. I'm sure there's a light in there. Let's get people growing.
Like,
man.
yeah, you can look at this one of two ways. One, it's someone trying to like capitalize on legalization in a place.
Right.
And that's like the negative aspect of like monetarily. They're trying to capitalize on
I
legalization
got no
somewhere.
problem with
But,
that, man.
but at the end of the day, this just has more people at home growing their own weed, which is to me, like, I don't care how it happens. That's just a cool thing to see happening.
And I do understand the weirdness of it being a vapor company, but it says they're growing a new brand. It's a new brand.
Well,
and if they want to take some of their money, if they want to take some of their vapor money and put it into helping people grow their own medicine, I don't know. Maybe they're all right. You know?
Look at you. You should get on their marketing team.
Do I have to mention if they're a sponsor?
Be careful when you're looking at these grow tents, guys. I'm always weary of them. It's usually some shit LED light. The tent's zippers are going to break. That's what I'm talking about as far as on the grow side of things. Price stuff out. Spend some money on your initial investment. This isn't going to be, I mean, yeah, it'll get people growing. I doubt its quality as far as the tent, the light, the inline fan goes. And yeah, I don't know what nutrients and stuff they put in here.
How were the vapes, man? Were they poor quality?
So vapes have come a long way since then.
but
For
my
the
point
time, they were really good vapes, actually.
So my point is that maybe these people do care about things. Details. You know, how somebody does something is how they do everything. I like to think that a lot.
I don't know about that. I don't know if I agree with that. How somebody does something. No.
Yeah, I mean, if they take care of their garage, chances are they're going to take care of their car. And then chances are if they have an ATV or a boat, they're going to take care of that really well, too.
Okay. I'll let you have that one. I can't come up with any rebuttals right off the top of my head.
I don't know. I like to think that, meaning that if you, like this, I don't know. I don't want to side with anybody on this too hard, but I want more people to grow. So I think it's cool. Otherwise, you're going to scouring the internet. Like I said, I'm going to have something on the side of the dabulance. It says learn how to grow. If you can then walk into a store or say learn how to grow, if you find this kit and it's $500 and you get it and it works for you and you start growing a few plants and that's your introduction, and then you go, fuck, the zipper's broke on this after a year. You know what? I'm going to buy actually a good one this time. I know I like it.
That's where I hate that you just touched on my pet peeve, and I don't want to dive into it too far, but like I'll give you an example. So we go tubing, right? I told you we went tubing on the river. You got to get a tube. I started looking at tubes that are like made out of the same type of shit like whitewater rafts are. Like I want to buy something and use it.
What if you're going to go one time? What if you're going to go one time?
The tubes called the River Rats, popularly sold here, probably by that company that makes everything plastic, Intex or Index. Oh, yeah. They made our pool. They make the tubes. But it's basically two of the three we have now already have a hole. Got to maintain it. Been trying to find the hole. Pretty good at finding holes. Can't find these holes. I hate it when you make shit. If you know somebody's going to go put this in to use it, make it a little bit better. It's almost disposable. And then you start to see the tubes sitting around. People are done with it. They just wing it. Some of them just wing it on shore and shit. So then it becomes dinosaur trash.
What is with your Canadians, man? Winging tubes, throwing
some people. They're the ones that drink the cinnamon whiskey.
They definitely, like, you can get them. They're more expensive. Small, like, one-person river rafts that are extremely durable. It's made out of the same stuff that, like, what are those? The inflatable boats with motors on them that are really durable. I forget what those are called. Yeah, they're just
Ribcraft.
Yeah, those. They make a single-person, like, made for whitewater rafting down places. That's cool. But also, hey, just use some soapy water. It's a really good way to find a leak.
The problem, like people run into this with growing, and I'll switch to the next news story after this, but cost of entry. When somebody sees that grow kit, like, damn, I get the tent, I get the light, and I'm trying to say, hey, you should go get a Gorilla Grow tent first. I'm like, well, that's as much as this whole kit, and I have nothing else. Right. That's what you see also with these tubes. Like,
there's your barrier. But there's your barrier to entry where that's going to stop people from growing. I'm not going to grow. It's too expensive. I'm not spending $2,000 on all that shit.
Yeah, but then I'll break down the math. Be like, okay, how much you grow? I mean, your investment is going to return.
How do you know you're going to like it? How do you know you're going to have any success? Maybe after 500. How many people start with a Mars 300?
I started with a Mars 300.
You know what I mean? You go buy $150 light and you're like, fuck it, I'm going to try this. And then you go, shit, it actually works, man. It's pretty fun.
I feel it's just more my hate on, which is another subject, disposable. Like when shit's almost disposable.
Just give up on the hating of disposable. It's obvious that the world loves disposable. Safe and disposable, brother.
Single harvest grow tent. Go check it out, guys. All right. This next one's titled, I don't agree with the title, Why Growing Marijuana at Home May Be a Safety Hazard for Michigan Residents. And it gets into the power usage right away. But check out this picture they have first. They're talking about growing marijuana, and they're in Michigan, and they got a dude just tending to some tomatoes in a greenhouse.
That's just lazy. That is just lazy news, man. And this is 13 on your side. It's one of those local news stations. I don't know, man. I guess people still watch the local news, though, right?
Well, people still watch TV? Like cable TV?
Yeah, my wife watches the reality shows, yeah.
They're talking about the statewide energy impacts, right? A lot of people growing indoors, and they're mentioning, hey, if you're a caregiver and you can grow, let's say you got 10 lights hung up, that does add up quite a bit. I mean, we were saying, and it's a fact that go ahead.
Hang on. Why would you grow 10 lights? 10 lights is a semi-commercial operation. Gotcha.
You can still do that, and I'm down. It doesn't have to be 10, maybe it's 6, maybe it's 8. There's people that take advantage of that system, and there's people that grow for 8 other people, 6 other people, for the people that need it.
So what's the difference if somebody has 10 lights and then nobody on the block has any other lights running, or if everybody has one light? It's not like everybody's growing. It's not like everybody's gonna grow.
It's just a matter of there is enough power to use. I wanted to, I'll give you an example of my light's 600 watts, right?
Right.
It's not that there aren't other things that are 600. I mean, you think when we were talking before the show, talked about a microwave or maybe an oven.
No,
or
an air conditioner, heater or air conditioner. Just take a fucking space heater. It's 1,500 watts and it hangs on. It's on.
Yeah, climate control in any sort. And then it's on us as growers. We have shit on for 18 hours in a vegetated cycle. So this motivated me to put the message out there. Don't forget about growing outside, guys. You can pull a harvest outside that's going to last you till next time you get to grow outside. I know there's different laws in different states and different constrictions for people. Right. But man, it can be hard. But dialing in the environment outside is not, talk about low cost entry. I mean, I need some pots and soil.
It's true.
That's what I need. So keep that in mind if you have the option, whether you're putting up a patio plant, you're going to put a few in ground in the back, it can help normalize a little bit, but do also keep in mind potential odor issues that you might have to work with. Scotty's ran into it. Luckily, when I grew outdoors in Colorado, my neighbors were nice enough. A couple of them hated it, but they just would bust balls about it. They'd be like, oh, it smells like skunks killed today. Pretty bad, dude. And like, all right, I got you. Right. Because there are news stories I keep coming across where grows are being affected because they're not taking care of their odor, which outdoors, I don't know. You just basically like decided not to grow outside.
Don't take care of it. Yeah, I just basically didn't take care. No, I tried to put a can fan in there. There's
not much you can do, right? It's hard outside to control odor.
Nothing you can do. Yeah, so I'm not growing weed outside.
You can select strains or try to select less odorous strains ahead of time. You do your homework and figure it out. I don't have any to recommend off the top of my head, but there are ones that smell 10 times as worse than others when they're getting the prime time bloom.
Right.
All right. I'll let you pick out memes today from dudegrows.com. What you got,
We've been gone for so long, and there were so many good ones. Thank you so much to the meme creators. I just couldn't feature them all, but I will be going back. I will not lose these because some of these are great, man. So this first one is by your mailman Grows. It says, me watching Chad and Scotty talk about breeding. And it's what is that, Jim Brewer from Half Baked, and it says, that's some heavy shit. 4 squares, huh? And yeah, we were getting into the Punnett square and all that stuff. And just, man, I love that guy. He's just got great information, Chad Westport, and he's able to deliver it in just a real relatable fashion. I really enjoy talking to him.
Word up. Bless up.
I like that. Come on, what do we got?
Next one here is Plants Farming Us.
Yeah, read this one, dude. This one's really interesting.
In reality, plants are actually farming us by giving us all oxygen daily until we all eventually decompose so they can consume us. Nice.
What the fuck, man? What part of that is not true?
The part where they bury you in the ground in a casket for some reason.
They convinced us to do that. The microbes infected us to make it easy for them, man. Like, can you just put us in the ground so you don't have to go, So that's creepy.
They do that now. We've talked about it on the show where they do like the like composting burial. Like you're not in anything. It's kind of shocking for the people at the funeral, but they just throw you in the ground by a tree in the woods kind of thing.
That's disturbing. You're right.
Plant me deep enough though. I don't want the bears coming and ripping me up.
Yeah, I don't want to be part of a fence post,
All right. What else do you have here? One more meme by One-Eyed Cat Cannabis.
You win. One-Eyed Cat Cannabis. Holy shit. We just couldn't stop laughing over this one, man.
You got to break this one down.
This is from Of Mice and Men. This is a story that I had to read in school. It's one of the only full books that I actually read. And remember George and Lenny's the big slow guy, and George is the stocky, tough guy, and they're best friends. And, we have Of Plants and Men by One-Eyed Cat Cannabis. And it says, tell me about Recharge Again, Guru. And I'm Lenny. My head is on big old Lenny, and Guru's George. And there's even the faces that he picked out. She picked out. I don't know who One-Eyed Cat Cannabis is sex with them, but it's fucking hilarious, man.
Oh, dude, that is top notch. I dig.
Oh shit, that's so funny, man. So funny. And I got a little social media fun for you, dude. Maybe this will make you SMH. What do you think? Will this be SMH for dude? Will he shake his head? Go check it. This is the lighter dab challenge. Car lighter dab challenge. I think that guy nailed it. Guys, if you're for the podcast listeners, he puts a nice fat dab on a cigarette lighter, the push-in cigarette lighter for the car. and just rips it, man.
That guy's all styled out, man. He's got the dro hat, camo hoodie.
I get it. This video is the challenge, so it's multiple people doing it. MacGyver dabbing with car cigarette lighter is what that's called on YouTube, man.
How many cars have those anymore?
Not too, you know, they have the adapter thing, but it's more of a DC adapter. It's not. I wonder if a cigarette lighter would work in there. You should try.
I got to tell you, while we're talking about just one hit here on cars, I thought I lost my wife's key fob thing to she has a company car, and if you lose that, you got to replace it, and they're so expensive. Or they're like, it was almost $400. I'm like, what happened to turn the key, man? My 96, I turn it, and then I know to take it out and put it in my pocket because my hands on it. And the guy's like, dude, those aren't very secure anymore. Whatever. Anyway,
the world is changing, dude.
I know, grumpy old man.
They have microchip technology now, man. It's changed. It's going to change things.
Yes. Nanotechnology, buddy. Nano is that what they call it?
Wow, that is crazy that we went from micro to nano.
Yes. How much smaller, Guru? Is micro and nano official measurements?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're looking at it in like the metric system, yeah, it is official. But no, not really. They get used kind of interchangeably a lot.
No, but it is nano is considered
nano is an order of magnitude smaller.
Thank you.
Technically.
If you guys had a good time, man, dudegrows.com/support. We're going to be coming at you this week. We've got some Grow Talk. Excited to do a Grow Talk here with Scotty. Another Wake and Bake, another Grow Talk. A little more summertime coming up, on and off, but we'll keep the content coming at you.
I'm not leaving no more, man. I'm not leaving. I miss this place. Ain't no place like the bakery, dude.
When it's hard to not have summertime when you damn well know where I live, you're going to have rainy time where the whole effing month it rains every single day, the whole entire day. Let's pump out some shows then. Anyway, I love doing it. Thanks DGC for hanging out. I'm gonna start off these 2 shout outs here with Sophisticatedly Stoned 814. How you doing? And Louisianabus. I love that. Louisianabus living and learning with Cannabis 21. All right.
Dig it. I'll take No Till Tom and El Gringo de Mota.
What up, urban farmer and straight out of compost?
Mr. Kurtz and Kilo What? Oh, we're on fire today, dude.
Learning and burning and Autoflower. What's going on?
All right, I got P-Boy Gaming and are you lighting up again, Tim?
Yes. All right, peace out, guys. Stay higher. We're coming at you with some Grow Talk. Hope you all having a good summertime out there. And don't forget to scare yourself a little bit. That happened this week. My wife got stuck in a rapid for a minute. One of those spinny ones. You're just going and going. You just got to sit there and wait for it to push you out. So stay calm.
What?
Yeah.
She got stuck in a what? I'm sorry, I missed.
A rapid, where you can get stuck. Where it won't let you keep going. Yeah, those are fun. It's kind of like a little rodeo.
You'll be fine, honey. You'll be fine.
I didn't know what to say. I was like, don't get out.
Those edibles.
All right, peace out, guys. I'll keep talking about summertime fun. Until next time.
Right on.
Take her easy.
Take her easy, dude.
Some people love to blaze up the dank. Yeah, we get happy for noon. And when the boss man says to take a little break, that means we're lighting up a dude. It's just weed. I like to keep a good buzz on. It's just weed. In my toolbox there's a bone. Some people start their day off with a pill. It's what the doctor says to do. They shake their heads at natural medicine. Go ahead and try something new. It's just weed. I like to keep a good buzz on. It's just weed. I like to smoke it all day long. Yeah. Now if the big man catch you riding high, ooh, we gonna lock you in a cage. No. If you wonder why he hates the dank, just look at how he's being paid. Now, don't lock up me for smoking weed.